Hey guys, Auspicious Aussie here, and welcome to episode 17 of the Berlin Dynamo series. Now, today's episode, it is the end of season, and as you can see from the title, we're going to be tactic testing, and there is a reason for that. However, you can probably see from the league table here exactly why that's happening. But let me go into the fixtures. Alrighty, they're the fixtures. As you can see, last episode we had Erzgebirge and Ingolstadt. A 3-1 victory in that first game, and then a 3-1 loss at home in the second game to Ingolstadt. And that was pretty much, I would say, the sort of end point for us potentially getting into the promotion playoff spot, as Ingolstadt were in that spot, and I think we were about 7 or 8 points behind them, with all these games left to go. As you can see from that Ingolstadt game, let me get rid of these two. We went on an unwinnable run. We could not win a game. There was 1860 München, Osnabrück, Saarbrücken, and Freiburg 2. We didn't win any of them. We lost 3, drew 1. And I've got to say, I'll go through the games really quick. The first one was the 2-1 loss to 1860 Munich. As you can see, probably didn't really deserve to lose. We actually played somewhat well. Striker, obviously, big issue. Everyone else was, Chateau, pretty bad, but Chateau is just bad in general at the centre-back position. Susek got a goal for us, but it was a back-to-back defeat at that point. We then managed somehow to get a result, albeit only a draw, against Osnabrück, who were, I think, top of the league at this point. I think they still are. But as you can see, we actually dominated them big time. 11 shots, 2 on target there for Osnabrück. They got a goal to kick things off as well. Seebeck getting us a penalty in the second half. But just like looking at those stats, 15 corners for us, 9 shots on target, 19 shots overall, 91% passes completed, 65% possession, and we still somehow didn't win the game. We then lost to Saarbrücken. And again, as you can see, this was a little bit more sort of favoured to Saarbrücken, but they got 2 penalties, and they scored both of them. And they had 19 fouls to our 9 fouls, albeit the passes completed in possession was sort of a lot more even, shall we say. Susek managed to get a goal for himself. Gudra getting an assist there as well. Some pretty bad performers out there. But yeah, played Lehman, who got a 7 match rating as well. The 17-year-old. Pretty good result for him. I was playing sort of I think I was more or less favouring, because this was yesterday, last night. I was more or less favouring the players that are sort of going to be here next season, because I knew we weren't going to make the promotion playoff. And the final game that was played was a 4-2 loss to Freiburg 2. Shock with a 6.1. We've said it before, shocking performance. And as you can see, they got 4 goals, one of which was a penalty, one of which was in the 90th minute. We got a goal for Gudra on half-time, and then Akono getting himself a goal there as well, just after the new half started, the second half. Not good. Not good. So, today's games, we've got SN, and then we've got Gladbach. So Gladbach are in 4th. SN for the first game are in 6th. Ingolstadt have jumped above them. So this is kind of a massive game. We could potentially upset SN by keeping them in that sort of playoff spot against the relegated playoff team from Bundesliga 2. So pretty interesting. I think this will be the tactic we play today. It's just the perfect 4-2-3-1 from FM Scout. Just going to give it a try, just test it out for these 2 games and see what happens. It does play with a register and a ball-winning midfielder, both of which are defensive midfielders, as you can see there. So there are a few sort of mishaps when it comes to that stuff. Obviously, Gudra can't play there, so he's sort of either forced on the left or in the middle or even up front. Playing Gudra up top probably wouldn't be the worst decision in the world either. Worth saying is he's got a little bit of pace about him. We also play with a winger on that side, so Gudra very easily could slot into that left wing position as he is left-footed. So something to think about. The right side is still an inside forward attack, which is what we play, and then up top is still an advanced forward. The wingbacks still, the fullbacks are still wingbacks, and then the only change in defence is Mendy as a ball-playing defender. I suppose the goalkeeper is different as well with a sweeper keeper. Does sort of favour Klinger a little bit more. He's got a bit more pace about him, so we'll give him the run out despite his really poor performance. I mean, like I said, Shock just recently had a shocking performance, so we'll see what happens. Kind of happy to see the end of Pelivan in the team as well over the course of the next 2 games. I don't really know what to say because I'm looking forward to next season, and then of course we've got the whole wage dilemma. Anyway, lineup today: Klinger goals, Montag and Muller are going to be the wingbacks, Mendy and Lida going to be the centre halves. We've got Chateau on the right side as the ball-winning midfielder. I feel like it does kind of, it's his best sort of position that he has, but unfortunately he'll be leaving us. So in what could have been his sort of best positioning for us in this tactic, he won't be here next season to play there. Seebeck's going to be the register. He can play defensive mid there, so he's got some stats that lend himself to register. But he's getting old. He is getting old, so he's going to be with us next season as well. But getting on a bit. Jublovic going to be the attacking midfielder. On attacking midfield attack, which is cool. Again, we've got Anor as well, which he's also somewhat suited to this tactic, which is really good. Attacking midfield attack, and then he can also play on that left-hand side as that winger. And he does have a bit of pace, so that might be the position that he can sort of double at, if that makes sense. He can cover both, and he'll be very important for us next season if we decide to keep this tactic. Either way, he'll be important because he's on a minuscule wage for another 2 seasons. So very happy with that. Like I said, Lehman, he's actually starting to develop, which is nice. Passing's gone up, heading's gone up, strength has gone up as well. Composure up to 6 as well. And again, he's got another year with us. We should be able to offer him a new contract. He's got 1.5 star of potential left, and he's sort of almost getting up to that 3-leaguer sort of youngster level, I would say. Anyway, that's the lineup for today. Kono's up top. Susek and Struik are going to be our 2 wingers on either side. And let's just see what we can do. Like I said, end of season, tactic testing, and we're ready to go. And again, nobody's expecting absolutely anything from us at the moment. We are safe from relegation. I didn't really show the league table in too much detail. I think we're on 47 points, and the lowest relegation candidate or team in the relegation zone is on 38. So 100% safe, cannot be relegated, albeit our position has sort of massively slipped down, which is very, very frustrating. I just hope that this tactic is a bit more solid defensively. That's what I would really like. Yeah. And in saying that, SN have a free kick. and they score it. Oh, you gotta love it. I mean, they are a good side. I'm not going to be too sort of upset about it. It was a good free kick. Anyway, like I said, this is more just to end the season. We're going to try and end it on a high note. Go out, see what happens next season, especially with the wage budget, and just see what we can do. I mean, I feel like I don't want to write next season off, but I feel like it's going to be a bit of a... That's a good goal by Susek. I feel like it might be a little bit of a consolation season. And in saying that, this season has more or less turned into the same sort of thing. Anyway, that was a really good goal by Susek. Jublovic with the assist there as well. I do like the use of an attacking midfielder on attack, as Susek almost gets a second goal there. Something I don't think I've ever used, and I played FM since 2011. I've never used an actual attacking midfielder in like the player role. So it's very, very interesting. Always, I used to go for like advanced playmakers. Now I like that sort of shadow striker. I think even back on like 16, I was using like a trequartista. As they get a second goal on the stroke of half-time, very frustrating. It is what it is. We're not too fussed about these games. We're just enjoying the ride. One thing I would like to do is I want to get the best goalkeeper. I don't know. I've said I'm happy there, and they've actually responded to it. I just want to get a better goalkeeper. Klinger and Shock, just not good enough. All right, we got a corner. It bounces around. It's going to go for a penalty. Muller was shoved to the ground. It's probably going to be Leader to take this one. Seebeck. Oh, and he absolutely blasts it. I wonder if taking Seebeck off... Oh, not... Yeah, I guess replacing him is probably the better way of putting it. I replaced him as captain, made him vice-captain, and then I think I put Leader as the captain. Anyway, we're going to bring Anor on here, swap him and Susek around. Anor actually isn't too bad. He's actually better playing as a winger than he is as an attacking midfielder. Very strange. Very strange. I am still going to train him as an attacking midfielder because I feel like that will be his sort of primary position. Excuse me, it is just very, very vital that his versatility is going to come in handy no matter what. Montag manages to beat his man. Keep forgetting that we're actually on level terms here. Shadow up to Susek. Kono. And we're back in front. The tactic doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. What else are we going to do here? Let's go Stark. Stark for Seebeck. I like that. Stark is another one that's sticking around. And I don't really mind Stark as either the ball winner or the register. I feel like he can sort of play both. Probably more suited to the register. So I'm not really sure. Maybe I go Seebeck as the ball winner next season. Ugh, excuse me. Big yawn. And we've somehow managed to... We at least look like we're going to win. They do have a corner, though. Can we deal with it? No, we can't, unless he's offside. He's not. They have scored a goal in the 91st minute to equalise. That is frustrating. We have conceded 3 goals from 3 on target. Oh my god. So frustrating, man. Oh. We've also got this guy down in the under 19s. Under 19s, sorry. Not a bad little centre mid. He was only, 2.5 star. I feel like 2.5 stars probably good enough for me to promote. Doesn't look too bad, actually. Let's retrain him as a register. Where is he? Defensive. Register. You know, he's kind of got the stats for it. You know, some of these are low, like the 7, 8, 8. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, he does have a contract for next season, albeit a youth contract, but maybe we actually let's do this on camera. Let's see if we can give him a contract. We can actually give him a contract. That is a massive wage. Do I want to do this? I don't think I do right now. We'll keep him on a youth contract. I need to be very frugal with my wage budget. And I don't think 500 on a 1-star youth player at 16 years old is probably the best financial decision right now. Anyway, I'm going to pause the video here, guys, and I will join you back for the lineup against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Alright, so let's get into the lineup. I mean, we got a result. It's a lot better than the 2 losses that we had previously, so we'll take it. As far as the lineup goes, unfortunately, Anor did pick up an injury. Of course, Struik picked up an injury there as well. So they're both going to be out for this final game of the season. As far as the changes go, Schock coming in for goals, as Klinger was just so bad. He was so dreadful last game. And then I've moved Susek over to the right side, and we brought Gudra in. This will be his final game for the club as well. Would have been good to keep him, but of course he's opted to explore his options. I'll try and re-sign him. Maybe we can get him to come back, maybe on a bit of a cheaper wage. We'll have to wait and see. I feel like in that winger role next to Jubilovic, he would actually do quite well. A little bit frustrating. Like I said, it is what it is. Now that I think about it, I almost kind of want to put Seebeck in that. Actually, Seebeck's defensive stats are actually worse than Stark's. Thinking about it now, actually, Pelivan would actually be a pretty good ball-winning midfielder. Teamwork's very low. Maybe not. But let's do it. Let's go Stark for Chato. It is this sort of final game of the season, so we'll just do it. I'm not really too fussed. I don't really care all that much, if I'm being perfectly honest. We do have Leader for next season, so we might go with Leader and Lehman as well. Play the youth player. It's very risky, but I kind of like it. He hasn't played too well recently when he's sort of been called upon. He did get that 7, but since then, yeah, not too great. Kono as well. I know he got the goal last game, but we'll just have to wait and see. Again, it's going to be a Kono and Uzan for next season, so maybe should have played Uzan just to get him in the tactic and see sort of what he can do, maybe. Albeit a Kono, like I said, he did score, so that's at least a positive. Anyway, Montag with a cross in the box, and Gudra puts it in the back of the net 5 minutes in. I don't know. It is what it is. We're leading one of the better teams in the league already. I think they're in 3rd or 4th at the moment. Just this tactic is supposed to be really good, and it does look good so far, albeit we didn't look very good defensively, as Gudra almost gets another goal for himself. I like this sort of left winger position. It's something different, because I played with sort of inside forwards for a long time, but maybe like the last 2 or 3 FMs, pretty much with every tactic I've ever had. So it's maybe just a little bit of a breath of fresh air. How have they not scored there? They hit the post and then had a shot deflected as well. Thought that was going to be a penalty. And it's apparently offside. Free kick for us. We will take that. Shock with a kick out to Montag. Susek into Jublovic. He gives a ball away. Disappointing. That's not a goal. I thought he was going to finish that one. Now, there is one other thing that I've noticed. And I'll go into that after we finish this game, if I remember. But yeah, I'm a little bit undecided about it. And anyway, I won't talk about it too much until we finish this game. And then I'll let you guys know what it is. We do look good, though. There are a few players out there that are, looking good. Shock is one of those players, surprisingly. We've only had one shot on target, and we're actually winning, so maybe we can actually pull off a result that really screws over the other team. Would be nice for once. Udra with a cross in the box. Susek, Jublovic in the back of the net, and that is 2-0. Thought he might have been offside there, but he's actually onside. We get our second goal just before half-time. Strange. Albeit, we have a corner to hopefully deal with, and we do. Hits the post again. Very dangerous. And they indeed put it over to end the half. All right. We are going brilliantly. And that's with Lehman in the back line on a 6.6. Whoo, stinker. All right. Another corner to deal with. And that one goes just over the top of the net. I'm going to make a sub here as well, because Okono Uzan, purely for the fact that he's not playing too well. As Shock makes a save. 7.2 there for Shock. Might be suited more to a sweeper keeper. Potentially. Gudra with a free kick. Again, we hit the side netting this time. But yeah, our sort of front three behind the striker. Very decent performances today. Weird. They've hit the post for the third time in the game. Off of a corner as well. Wow. Are we about to keep a clean sheet? Surely not. Udra with the corner. Cleared away. Jublovic grabs the loose ball. Lehman, can he shoot? He's going to shoot. Oh, that would have been something. Anyway. Time's ticking away. We're in the 90th minute now. Going to be 4 minutes added on as well. They are coming forward here, Gladbach. Their shot goes just wide. 4 minutes left. Can we hold on for a very interesting victory? It'd be a huge way to end the season for the fans. We've got to say, it's been a pretty disappointing sort of... Actually, I don't know. It was pretty disappointing to kick things off. I guess maybe for the first third. Second third was really good, really positive. Actually, I don't know. It's just been very inconsistent. We do indeed concede a goal. Very frustrating, although it's going to be offside. It's offside. We're about to keep a clean sheet. We've kept a clean sheet. Oh my god. 7.7 there for Shock as well. Oh my god. How long has it been? I just got 2 achievements. I just got Irresistible Force, which is like scoring in 30 league games in a row, which is ridiculous, but pretty cool. And yeah, we just beat Gladbach 2, who were in 4th. to end this season. Montag, the right wing back, man of the match. Osnabrück win the league, which is pretty cool to see. Kind of happy that it wasn't a reserve team, albeit Bayern was 1 point off. 1 point. Let me look at the fixtures though, because our last clean sheet was how many games ago? It was before the last episode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games without a clean sheet. Wow. And yeah, a draw and a win from this episode. Anyway, quickly, just going to go over the stats for the season. There's nothing really too impressive. Top goal scorer is going to be Akono with 14. Behind him, we had Susek with 11 goals and 11 assists as well. So he did actually have the highest amount of assists there. Seebeck in behind there, who I believe had the highest average rating with a 7.19. Also had 11 goals to his name with 8 assists. And then behind them was Amadin, who was also really good, second best player of the season. And he had 9 goals and 10 assists. Quite a few less sort of appearances as well. Only had 25 starts, Amadin. But yeah, did really well. Obviously out injured as well for a little bit at the end here. Behind them was Jublovic with 10 assists and only 6 goals, which is okay. Probably expect a little bit more from your... albeit, I did sort of change him and Gudra around. So he did primarily play sort of deep-lying playmaker a little bit more this season. Played well. Gudra in there as well. 8 assists, 5 goals, and a 6.99 for him. Interestingly, down here, 7.11 there for Felix Meyer, who only started 6 games with 5 sub-appearances. So even with those 5 sub-appearances, he actually played pretty well. Something to think about, because he will be coming back to the team out for another 6 weeks. I think that injury was going to be 3 months in total. But as you can see for Meyer, he can also play that ball-winning midfield role. Not incredibly, but he's there. Can play centre-back as well, albeit not exactly a great passer of the ball. And then can play fullback as well. Got a bit of pace, good tackling, not great going forward. But he's a good option, and again, a bit more versatility if we want to, I guess, continue to play this tactic. Same sort of thing with Muller as well. So potentially have Muller in there as the ball-winning midfielder, and then play with Meyer potentially at left back, or if we can get another left back to come in. So, a few options there, some good options. Again, the thing I was going to talk about that we'll go into here is Bojovic. Now, Bojovic's contract runs out this season. However, I did put in a contract extension clause when he first signed his contract. So realistically, I can actually trigger that and have him stay for another season. Now the thing is, we've already got Uzan, we've already got Akono, and there potentially could be someone that's better than him that's going to contribute more and not have a 6.53 over the course of 16 starts with 3 sub-appearances and only 1 goal and 1 assist to his name. That's 1.5k that could go to another player, albeit we're probably not going to be able to sign another player anyway if the wage budget does remain the way it is. So it's a bit of a risk, as you can see down here. We're currently spending 10,000 over what we're allocated, which is just under 38,000, and we're just spending at the moment just under 48,000. Committed spending already for next season is still going to be 5,000 higher than what we're allowed to have. 5,000 is about 3 first-team players. Two or three, depending on the player. We're in trouble. We've known that for a long time. Obviously, the balance is pretty bad. Chairman has been pumping in cash every now and then. You can sort of see when he pumps it in. It'll be like 500k here, 500k there. Plus, some of these decreases is when we get certain TV money and stuff like that as well. Season tickets early in the season as well. So it's a weird one. Let me go back into the squad here real quick. And do we have contracts? So let's have a look at the players that will be leaving us. So confirmed is Amadin. He's opting out of his contract as well, which is frustrating because he is left-footed and he could essentially play as that winger on the other side, which is frustrating. Bojovic, like I mentioned, he might be here. He might still be here, possibly. We got Pelivan here, still actually on a part-time contract, which is pretty funny to see. It is really low. That's the reason why he is still on that part-time contract. And he was still signed back in the Regional Liga. Gudra, again, I'm a little bit salty about this one. Don't really want him to leave. Chato's already got a new contract with Lotte, who I believe, yep, they're in Regional Liga as well. So he's dropping down a level. Might sort of be more reflective of the player that he is, dropping down out of 3 Liga. He's maybe not good enough for this level. I thought Stark had a contract. That one actually hurts a little bit. I, for some reason, thought he had a contract for next season. Okay, that's bad, because that leaves us a little short. Not only that, but he's got a driven personality with 19 determination. So, just to show you guys quickly here as well, he is in the mentoring group, as you can see. Doesn't exactly have the highest sort of influence on the group. That sort of goes to Susek, who I think is in the core social group as well. It's a weird one. I thought we were going to keep him. That's a bit frustrating. That's sort of taken me by surprise a little bit. We're losing Book Yarns. We're losing Baker. We're keeping Mendy. I thought we were losing Mendy. That's frustrating. It is what it is, though. So they're the players that are leaving us. All of these guys. Oh, where are we? There we go. So they're all going, as well as Baker. Sorry. All those top players. Frustrating. It is very, very frustrating. Some of them. Amadin, Gudra, Stark. Even Chateau now that we're playing, or we're going to try and play with this new tactic for next season. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up Season 3 here. A little bit disappointing to finish in 12th place, albeit we broke 50 points. What did we get last season? We got 60, so we're 9 points worse this season than we were last season. And if we got 60 this season, we would have been in 7th. Still just outside the playoff spot, but obviously much better than this season. So yeah, frustrating, difficult season. It is now over, and we look forward. We look with positive eyes onto next season, albeit there are a few things that are a little bit worrying, and they're down in this bottom right-hand corner. Overall balance, wage budget, it's going to be tough. Anyways, drop a like on the video. Hopefully see you next time for preseason, and of course the transfers and the first 3 Liga games of the season. Potentially with some new players, possibly not as well. So keep that in mind. I'm going to try my best to see what I can do, see who we can bring in. Thinking loans. Hopefully deadline day we can maybe get a few players on loan with no wages, because that's, in my eyes, the only way we're going to actually be able to bring in anyone of real quality. And yeah, apart from that, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, take it easy and goodbye.